What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Hologram. I want to do my weekly update, what really affected it, what the data points are saying, and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Hologram over this last week did go up 5.08%. Low for the week was 430. So you can kind of tell that there wasn't all that much crazy moves in the stock price, but nonetheless though, it did break the 2-week consecutive red that they did have, so this is kind of a positive. Another positive though is that this last week there was no real abnormal spikes in the volume, and for those of you that have been watching my Hologram updates, you would know that does coincide with dilution, because even right here, this 52.5 million day, clearly that's a sign of obviously dilution, because that's more than currently the outstanding share count. So at the end of the day, this past week was a legitimate push higher, and most likely it was just piggybacking off of the broader market, in my opinion, of course, because there wasn't any news whatsoever from the company. Last news did come out on the 21st, and then the 17th. A lot of that does just coincide with ultimately Bitcoin and how much investment income they have received. So again, it is what it is. Nothing really crazy if you ask me, but it is enough to mask dilution. And this is something that a lot of companies have done that have a lot of convertible debt. And one thing to take note of though, I always give you general updates on when you can expect next rounds of dilution. And last time I was kind of correct, because I did say that they're going to be needing to dilute very soon. But they went the F3 route instead, which was very interesting. So that's essentially like a shelf offering, so an S3, but it's up to, I believe right here, $300 million. So instead of going the note route, they went this way, which still is dilution, but it's a little bit more advantageous for the stock. But when it comes to the previous notes, as I have signaled in the past, all of these that were issued are 365-day notes. So this April 23rd note is going to be coming due April 23rd, 2026. Pretty simple stuff. So we can kind of look back and see exactly when the next round of dilution is going to be. And so August the 23rd right here, that one most likely will be covered under that F3, so you won't be seeing any kind of new notes for that. Possibly October 30th, 2024, so meaning October 30th, 2025. That could be potentially the next issuance or note if they do go that route, because I think at that stage, this F3 will be fully depleted. That's, again, if they use this for operational kind of expenses, as well as to pay down their old notes. So let me know your general thoughts on this in the comments below. But nonetheless, if they do continue to go this route, then I think that might be a little bit advantageous for shareholders at least. But I think even like beginning 2025, I said, hey, I think that their window is narrowing. In order for them to succeed, they need to really stop with these convertible notes. But they kept on doing them. So I think just there's still going to be excessive amount of dilution in the foreseeable future. But if they do continue this route, it might be still good for the company, not good for current shareholders, of course. There hasn't been, like I said, any news or anything regarding shorts. If you do believe that no dilution has been occurring, then this is accurate. So 28.74% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 1.3 million shares. So yeah, shorts, I know a lot of people really want Hologram to be a squeeze play, and it's pretty simple. All they do, and a lot of individuals, of course, that's what I mean, is they just look at this chart, they see these crazy spikes, and they say, hey, this is going to happen again. And so they look back over here, see 28 or 29% short interest, and then they get greedy. So this is why retail always does get burned. They don't actually look at the bare bones of what is behind the company. They just see random spikes and greed takes over. So yeah, I think in reality, this stock will have occasionally a bump here or there, but a lot of that has to do with dilution, as I've shared with you. So if you do start to see abnormal volume, then definitely hop on for a quick day trade or whatever else. But anything more than that, I do feel like this stock will essentially go down because they are all over the place. Notice how we haven't heard anything about quantum anymore, because when that was popular, same with DeepSeek, we were hearing daily updates about that. And it sounded like this company had research facilities in quantum and they were building these crazy chips, but nothing amounted to that. And Bitcoin now is popular. This is why they're posting about Bitcoin. So it's interesting stuff. And as I have signaled in my last video, this F3 ultimately has a massive red flag by saying that you are investing in a Cayman Island company that technically has no assets whatsoever. So there's a lot of red flags in here, blatant red flags that people are ignoring. And what I mean by that is this. So technically you are investing in this right here, not the company that has all the assets. You are investing in this. So again, for those of you that say, hey, I'm investing in something that is concrete, that has Bitcoin, that has this, blah, blah, blah. Technically, you're not. You're just investing in a subsidiary. So let me know your general thoughts. This is a very quick update, but there's not really much to talk on. And with that said, though, this will be my last hologram video, only because I've said my piece. Anyone wanting to invest in this right now, or at least in the foreseeable future, I think you kind of had enough warning signs. So if you want to invest, have at it. Day trade, just watch for abnormal volume. But I think this company, in my opinion, is a rest in peace kind of scenario that most likely will be done and gone probably in the first half of 2026, in my opinion. So what do I know in life? You guys do whatever floats your boat. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you are looking for some solid buy signals though, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.